Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're seeing this. My name is Jason Gady. I will be your instructor through this next class in your WLC progression, Economics for Managers. I know a lot of you have taken classes through the Moodle platform in WLC before, but I wanted to take a couple minutes to outline the class and to just run you through what Moodle looks like in this version. I also wanted to get my picture off this screen as quickly as possible so I don't break your laptops. And I'm sure that my annoying cat, which I don't really like, is in the background as well. So give me a second. That should be better. So a lot of people have lousy memories of economics from previous educational opportunities. It's called the dismal science by a lot of people, and that is because either the numbers part of it scares people or the boring part of it scares people. My goal in this class is to highlight the important parts, the things that will be most applicable to both your careers and your lives. Also, hopefully, to shed some light on things that are happening in our world through an economic lens. My background, which if you really want to read in detail about it, is listed here in the instructor background. I am a high school educator at Wisconsin Lutheran High School, which is just down the road from WLC. Business, economics, and AP economics. I am a husband, a father of 2 teen daughters, and I have taught this course primarily through the online version here at WLC for a few years now. Enjoy the opportunity it gives me to lead some young adults and middle-aged adults and maybe even adult-age adults for those of you who are closer to my age. In their furthering of their educations. You'll see the syllabus is here. It's laid out here in the link. The only thing I would really point out that is probably different is just the grading scale is listed there. The 2 heaviest parts of this grade are the weekly discussions. There are 11 of them spread out over 6 weeks. And then the paper, which you will put together in pieces each week, and then ultimately submit at the end of week 6. So for those of you who worry about a big paper coming at the end, that is true, but if you are keeping up during the first 5 weeks, the last week is really just editing and polishing and turning in. So we're spreading it out over the 6 weeks. You will see in the syllabus the rough outline for each week that is also highlighted each week in the steps to completion, which we'll get to here in a second. So for the most part, there are 2 discussion questions each week. Your initial posts are due on Thursday evenings, and 11:55 p.m. Central Daylight Time is our deadline for everything. The days of the week change, but the time doesn't. It looked like when I took a quick peek through the roster that none of you were Eastern time zone, so we should be okay there. So you have 2 initial posts to make by Thursday. You have 2 responses in each of the 2 discussion posts, so a total of 4 responses by Saturday. Make sure when you make your posts that you are citing information that you use in your posts and that those citations are in the APA format. I know when you post that the formatting, the hanging indent and such that you are accustomed to in APA, that is difficult to pull off within the Moodle platform. Do your best. I'm really looking to see that you are sourcing information properly from other places. There is a quiz each week that is due by Friday. You can do that up to 2 times. The quiz is really based on the text. In fact, as you work through it here in Flat World, and I am under the assumption that some of your other courses have transitioned to Flat World, this is a new text for this course. It's actually the first time it's being taught. As you work through here, and I'm just seeing if I can get to one quickly, you will find some, it's probably here in the review. There are some self-check quizzes here that come towards the end. Those really are the source of the questions for the quiz. So if you put in some time reviewing the text, you will be prepared for those quizzes each week. You also have a video presentation due each week, 2 to 3 minutes. The deadline for that is Sunday. Sunday meaning the end of the week. So the courses are set up that a week begins on Monday and ends on Sunday. Wanted to be cognizant of the people who are working, 40 plus hours a week. And so the 2 bigger parts are due on Sundays. You will have a topic each week, 2 to 3 minutes is the video that you will produce, which is your response. The first 5 weeks, those videos will only be seen by me. And so you are going to create a video using Screencast-O-Matic. If you don't know how to use that, be in touch with me and I will point you towards some help. Once you record those, you will upload them to YouTube, and you will simply, in the forum, and I can show you this here, you will upload the URL here by clicking on Add Submission to where you have posted the link, and I will view them from there. There is a culminating paper then that is part of this course. It is an economic comparison between the United States and a country of your choosing. My hope is that between all the students in this class, we have no duplicates of countries. If it organically happens, I'll address it with the students and figure out what we want to do. So each week, the first 5 weeks, you're going to put together, 400 to 600 words roughly on different areas comparing the U.S. and the country. In the last week, we'll get to it. Your video is a presentation of your paper to your peers. But again, we'll address that in week 6. So a few other things in the syllabus you can pop through. It is our expectation that you are in Moodle on a regular basis. The assignments are set up that it would be difficult for you not to be and meeting deadlines. And as you know, one of the requirements of a course here is that all assignments are completed. So if you fall behind, it is an expectation that your coursework will get caught up. So I'm scanned down here, and again, you'll see this schedule for each week is laid out here in the steps to completion for each week. So as we look at week 1 here, we can see the steps to completion. This first week, there are the first 3 chapters. We introduce the fundamental economic problem of scarcity. Society has unlimited needs and wants and limited resources with which to fill those needs and wants. And so ultimately, economics is the study of how we allocate our resources. And then chapter 2 gets into the factors of production and how those are used to meet the needs and wants of societies, and the economic systems that are put in place to help organize and obtain the goals that society set. Chapter 2 is where you will run into some of the isms that you are most familiar with, capitalism and socialism and even a touch of communism. And then chapter 3 is the classic supply and demand. That might be one of the few things you remember from economics courses of the past and how that affects the pricing of goods and services. There are a couple of study resources that go along with this first week. There is a little bit longer YouTube video it's an interview with Milton Friedman, who is one of the big names in the world of economics. It's a little dry, but I think you will learn a lot from it. And then there are a couple of very short articles that really has to do with natural resources in a particular country. And so you will see you have 2 discussion questions here. One is on the new version of the North American Free Trade Agreement that is working its way through Congress. And the second has to do with rent control and minimum wage laws, which get into the price floors and price ceilings that we will talk about. And then the quiz, the video, and the final paper. If you have questions along the way, the best thing to do is to text me. My number is listed on the syllabus. Sorry for blurring your screen. I am a person whose phone is always in their pocket. And so either texting or calling, if you have a question, is probably the best way to get it answered. Feel free to email as well to my WLC email. I don't check that quite as often. So if you want a really quick response, just shoot me a text and I will get back to you just as quickly as I can. Just a heads up for you, I'm the head girls track coach at my high school. These first 2 weeks are the last 2 weeks of our track season. And so I have meets Monday and Thursday nights of this week that if you tried to reach me at that time, I am probably going to be distracted, just in case something comes up. All right, it's longer than any of the other videos will be because there's a little bit more introduction. I hope it's helpful. Blessings on your economics experience for the next 6 weeks.